So this realization, this awakened perspective, this awakened knowing or seeing really must descend all the way into the human experience, and this is the real journey. This is where it has real value. Otherwise what? It's just a perspective, a understanding. It needs to have value in our lives. It needs to actually instigate a true transformation from the inside out. And that's perhaps what can be described as the descent of the light of awakening into the human experience. And one of the primary places that it is invited to descend into and is often avoided is the heart. What does that mean? Yeah. Again, I'm using these words really to describe a journey and a process. The heart is the receptacle of all hurts and therefore all defenses. If we are afraid of feeling hurt, whether the hurt was something in the past or the present, or it's always in the now anyway. Even when you have a memory of something that happened in the past, you're experiencing it now. Yeah. So really there is no past and present. It's all in the present. So whatever hurt, our capacity to feel hurt, our capacity to have the armoring of the heart pierced by the human experience is a vital part of that inner transformation. And I don't mean feeling hurt and being a victim, because that's what creates the defendedness, the defense structures. If we feel a victim of our past, a victim of our parents, a victim of abuse, whether it's something our parents have done, whether it's our schooling, our culture, whatever circumstances we've been born into and experienced, or whether it's our current culture, the world, being a victim of the world, being a victim of this and that and this and that, a victim of our own thoughts, a victim of our own stories, a victim of rejection, and so on. That's not feeling your hurt. That's finding a defense strategy within that hurt, to protect yourself from having the heart broken open. The heart's defenses must be broken open, the armoring of the heart, if the light of awakening is to truly filter into our human experience. And this is often a big sticking point. And that's why you see spiritual teachers.
Very good.
Yes, I know. But it's, can you feel it? It's stiff, right? It's stiff, it's armored. Relax. Yeah? And we experience this in our lived experience through the intimacy of relationship. And that doesn't mean we have to be in some committed partnership, although that's the most powerful catalyst. Intimacy with ourselves. Intimacy with our experience of life. Intimacy with all things. That's where we feel vulnerable. And that vulnerability shows up as being afraid of real honesty, being afraid of feeling our feelings, which is honesty to the self, being afraid of expressing, sharing feelings, for fear of being rejected by another, or being rejected by the world, or being rejected by some imaginary authority, yeah, mother, father, God. So then we do not tell the truth to ourselves. And the truth is always the truth of our felt sense, our feeling. Yeah? And we're not willing to listen to the truth of another. Because others' feelings, others' truth is often a danger to us, or a threat, or seemingly an attack, or seemingly a rejection. So to tell the truth and to listen to the truth is vital. This is very different from emotional reactivity. I'm just going to say what I want. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to feel what I feel and I'm going to dump it on you. That's not telling the truth and listening to the truth. That's reactivity. And reactivity comes about when there is heavy armoring, heavy defendedness, and the fear of vulnerability, the fear of openness, the fear of nakedness. And if we take this visually, metaphorically, and I'm a very visual person, yeah, the light of awakening descends into the heart like a river of light, and it knocks on the door from the inside, and we think it's the outside that's doing it to us. This person showed up and they're like this, and this relationship is like this, and the world is like this. Actually, it's knocking from the inside, trying to break down that armoring, that defensive strategy, those emotional acrobatics, mental acrobatics that create the scaffolding of the self, the nuts and bolts of the self. The nuts and bolts are the grievances. Yeah, grievances. You have a grievance against life, a grievance against yourself, a grievance against somebody. It's where we hold on to, they did it, he did it to me, she did it to me, they shouldn't have done it to me, they shouldn't have been like that, I shouldn't have been like that. There's a whole plethora of grievances. They're the nuts and bolts that put together the scaffolding that creates an armoring around the heart. And that's your prison. It's a prison. So it's one thing to see through the ego identity. It's one thing to recognize awareness as the screen upon which the movie is played. And it's another thing for this descent of that light of awareness, that light of being, that light of non-duality, yeah, openness, sky, nature, to descend all the way into the human experience. Without that, awakening is not complete. Awakening is not embodied. This undoing of the nuts and bolts, the grievances, really undoes the past, it undoes karma, it undoes trauma, and brings you into a state of forgiveness. You don't have to do any forgiving. It's not in your power. Forgiveness is a state of being. It's simply the end of defendedness. It's the end of grievances, which means that you can feel hurt, excruciating hurt in the moment, like a surgeon's knife. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, or a sharp word that is said, or a misunderstanding. We're misunderstood all the time, right? Like going into the store, yeah, and Whoever's serving you is a little bit brusque with you, or rude, or dismissive, and you feel misunderstood. You let it pierce your heart. There's no grievance. You don't have to forgive them. You don't have to work it out for them. Yeah? The heart is pierced, is excruciating agony in that moment. And there is only sky heart, undefendedness, nakedness. You are neither a victim of it, nor are you trying to overpower it and defend against it. This is forgiveness. This is the Holy Christ in you, the Christ light in you.